Hey guys, it's Darkshot the Poisoner here, bringing you another episode of Let's Play Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. Something you might notice differently about this episode is that I'm actually doing some post-commentary. That's something new and weird for me, but actually, for this episode, it's a lot of soul grinding, so there are cuts and edits and things here and there that would just be really, really boring to watch, and it would take up way too many episodes normally. So, you guys get to be treated to a little bit of something different, and that would be my post-commentary, which definitely lacks in its skills. But right now, I think we're fighting a new enemy called an Allura Un, or Une, or Una, or however you want to pronounce it. Pretty much it's just like a Mother Un, and oh god, that was gross. Yeah, it's like a mother of all Uns. And I think that's actually the only one in the game that appears, so if you want to grind for its soul, go ahead, because this is the only one that's right there. It's kind of cool because if you get the Un power and the Allura Un power, it's another one of the combos, so you'll be able to use them both at the same time. It's kind of funny because the Allura Un's power is a bunch of vines grow out of you and stuff, and then with the Un power in tandem with it, it'll start shooting out Uns everywhere. And right there, I went to the left because I thought there was a treasure chest, but there wasn't, because the money is actually over here. And you get $2,000. Way to go. Man, if I could find $2,000 just lying on the ground, that'd be fantastic. So actually what's happening right now isn't very interesting. It's actually me taking my time getting to the warp point in the subterranean hill, so I don't really just like... I didn't want to leave you guys hanging in a spot where you couldn't get anywhere from the last episode. I wanted to actually get you to the warp point so maybe you could warp somewhere and save. But right after this, we're going to get into the soul grinding. You guys ready for this? Alright, here comes the non-linear order. Alright, here's the first part. I picked up the Skeleton 8 power. Not really important, but I accidentally picked it up on the way trying to get some other things. It says throw a foe with incredible power. Not quite sure what it does, though. I haven't really tested it out thoroughly. This is, let me see, the Raikuda power. It says summon thunderbolts. You shoot little thunderbolts from your hands and they can actually seek out enemies on the screen. And this is all in the Garden of Madness, by the way, that I picked these up for right now. Oh god, my video's lagging a little bit. This is in the bottom part of the Cursed Clock Tower, actually. And you'll see that we're gonna fight a Malachi, actually one of those guys. And this is how I beat him. I took out one of my archer guys and then got a double claymore hit right on him, and I think that killed him pretty well. And after a while, you get the Malachi power, summon a dark sphere that spews energy. Pretty much you just shoot out one of those spheres that the Malachi shoots out normally. And right here I'm trying to demonstrate where I am. I'm actually in the Demon Guest House, and I kind of do the same deal I did against the Malachi here against the Killer Clown. And I got the Killer Clown power, throw cards as weapons. Not going to be used for synthesizing weapons, I think, but it's actually just a useful power that I like. And here's something funny. I actually found this right next to where the Killer Clown was. The Lilith power, which we will be using for weapon synthesis. And it's right next to the Killer Clown, which is kind of ironic. And here I picked it up. It says increase intelligence. Not much of a benefit there, but we're going to be using it for synthesis anyway. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm in the bottom of the Condemned Tower, trying to get this guy, who's the easiest guy to grind for in the game, because he only takes one hit right now. It's a Dragonazio or something. And, yeah, Dragonazio. Raise resistance to flinching upon damage. Kind of a good power, but we're going to be using that for synthesis. Most of these are going to be used for synthesis. And now we're back in the, subterranean hell. There we go. And I'm throwing fish heads just for fun at some, Decarabias, and Decarabia's power is hurl a Decarabia. It's kind of cool because when you hurl it, it's like a wheel, and it will fall down slopes very fast. So keep that in mind if you want to throw something down a hill for some weird reason. And now I'm grinding for a Valkyrie power for more synthesis, of course. I mean, the end of this episode is just like a horde of synthesis. You're going to be overwhelmed by it. And Valkyrie, transform into a Valkyrie and charge at foes. Now, I will explain, I'm not going to be using any of these powers in these videos, because I'm going to be having that last video of this series where I show all the powers that I got. And now we're back in the Cursed Clock Tower again. Yeah, I said non-linear, right? And we're trying to hit this guy, who is called a Bugbear. I think this is the only place we can see him right now in the game. And right about here, yeah, there, I get his power. It's called Bugbear, raises resistance to lightning. Not very many uses for it, but right now I kind of speed it up. I sped it up because somebody told me in one of my earlier videos that I forgot to get the warp point for the Cursed Clock Tower, so I wanted to show you guys where it was. And since there wasn't a lot of material to this episode, ooh, I fell into the spikes right there. This is just a giant failure on my part. But I mean, yeah, I had to like backtrack all the way to the Cursed Clock Tower just to get to this place, and I wanted to show you guys where the warp point was, because obviously I'm stupid. I didn't think there was. I know there's one in like every single place. I just forgot where it was for this one. And look, I got hit by an imp. Oh my gosh! And here's where the failure starts. Oh, I kept trying to do the combo where you use flying armor and then you use the puppet master, but for some weird reason my puppet master just like wasn't working. And there I got it to work. I used the little combo there. So now I transfer back, and we get back to the lower levels of the Dark Chapel, and we're hunting for this guy's power, which is he is called a Barbaricia, who's kind of like the cousin to the not the Decoravia, the Dragonazio, same deal there, and he's going to be used for synthesis. And I think it's right about at this point that I go to the Lost Village. Let me see. Yep, we're in the Lost Village. So now here's where the synthesis actually starts. 2 minutes of synthesis. Full-on, full-blown synthesis, my friends. This is just going to bore you to tears. But after this, we're going to have some pretty crazy weapons. In fact, in this video, I upgrade the hammer all the way, so we're going to be able to do that later in the in Subterranean Hell. We'll do that little mini-game thing. And we got the Osifune, but who cares about that when we can level it up again? Look at this. Oh god, it's awful. Kunitsuna. Tomio Tokana. Oh, like that one guy said. And here we go. We're leveling up the hammers right now, or the maces, and whatever you want to call them. The Morgenstern, which actually looks pretty cool. And this is kind of cool, because you'll look at the attack stat sometimes when you're synthesizing weapons, and it actually goes down, but you'll notice that the weapon will actually have special power that does something different, that it raises its attack more than normal. So don't worry when you're synthesizing a weapon. It's actually not really going down. A lot of times, especially with the Mojolnir, with the evolved form of the hammer, the Mojolinger, that's what it's called. It's actually a multi-hit weapon. So it'll get about 4 or 5 hits on a guy every time you swing it. So don't worry about its attack being down. And now we get the Brionac. That's not even close to the last form of that, the pole arms. And now we're going to level up our Durandal finally. My god, that Durandal is only in the 3rd form in the Claymore series, the Great Sword series. And now we're finally leveling up. Level up. And here I'm looking at it, I'm like, my god, it makes everything else go down in your stats. But I know it's got to have some cool power that goes along with it. Ascalon. And if you level it up again, you're going to be using the Gurgoth power, but I don't think I want to use the boss powers to synthesize items just yet, because I think I've heard something where that messes up your completion ratio. But we've actually reached the end of the episode here, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all later.